Senator Rounds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, let me just say to all of you, thank you for your service to our country. Dr. Cadillac, I don't have any questions for you. After our meetings and the amount of work that you've done in the past, I have confidence that you are the right person for this job, and I thank you for offering to serve our country once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Mr. Borders, I appreciated the opportunity to visit with you in my office, and I most certainly have appreciated the approach that you've taken with regard to your service. I've got a couple questions specifically for the record with regard to the Ellsworth Air Force Base, and I'd like to just work them through with you quickly. Ellsworth Air Force Base is preparing to host the first operational B-21 Raider Squadron, which also the first training squadron as well, which brings significant infrastructure demands from specialized maintenance to weapons generation facilities. If confirmed, will you work with this committee to make certain that the infrastructure on Ellsworth Air Force Base is appropriate for a weapons system as critical as the B-21, whether it is protection from the weather or evolving threats like drones?
Senator, again, thank you for your time in your office. If confirmed, I will absolutely look forward to being transparent and working with this committee to make sure we have the right infrastructure at our installations.
Thank you. Also, with regard to the Douglas School District, which is right there at Ellsworth Air Force Base, Mr. Borders, we discussed the importance of making sure that our bomber community and their families are taken care of, especially as the B-21 mission comes online and sees significant growth over a very short period of time. If confirmed, will you work with this committee to make certain that the Douglas School District is resourced appropriately?
Yes, Senator. If confirmed, I look forward to that.
Thank you. Mr. Dahmer, we did not have the opportunity to visit through no fault of yours. We just simply weren't able to connect. The Trump administration has called for prioritization of the China threat with broad support from Congress. That means increased attention and resources for Indo-PACOM. Senior department officials, including your current boss, have agreed with the assessment that in the event the U.S. and China engage in hostilities, adversaries like Russia and Iran will seek to press their own advantage in Europe, the Middle East, and elsewhere. Mr. Dahmer, do you agree with the assessment that in the event the U.S. is engaged in hostilities with China, it increases the likelihood that our other adversaries and other theaters will initiate hostilities against us?
Senator, thank you for this really centrally important question. I think this absolutely, number one, I agree with that assessment, and I think this just underscores really the central problem that our nation and the department and the joint force face. The scope and scale of the threats that you just eloquently enumerated: China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Islamic terrorists, narco-terrorists, et cetera, and we only have so many military and other resources with which to address them. I think the overall approach, I think as the President and the Secretary have enumerated, is one, obviously to defend our own homeland above all else, and to, number two, deter China in the Indo-Pacific as, in many ways, an unprecedented threat, and to significantly increase our efforts at burden sharing with our allies and partners, precisely to address that very real threat of simultaneity.
Well, let me continue on then. Do you agree that Operation Midnight Hammer significantly decreased the Iranian threat in the near term and weakened the China-led axis?
Senator, absolutely. Operation Midnight Hammer, and as the President has been clear, his objective is peace, but through strength. And I think Operation Midnight Hammer is a signal achievement of the joint force with our Israeli allies to be able to execute that operation. And I think underscores, really just encapsulates this administration's approach, as I understand it.
Well, let me continue on, or I'm going to run out of time. Do you agree that Operation Rough Rider significantly decreased the Houthi threat in the near term and weakened the China-led axis?
Senator, I think Operation Rough Rider, again, highlights the ability to President's signal ability to be willing to employ military force, decisive military force when necessary to achieve peace.
Did it weaken the China-led axis?
Senator, I have not seen any specific
Well,
indications
let me,
of.
then let me go on one other thing, because I'm going to run out of time here. Do you think that our allies acting alone, without U.S. support, could have achieved any one of those operations? I think
Senator,
this is the key.
excuse me, Senator.
This
Can
is
you
the key.
Absolutely.
Could any one of our allies have done any one of those items without our support?
I don't think so, Senator. Certainly not Operation Midnight Hammer. The specific capabilities that the U.S. Joint Force provided to that operation are unique in my understanding.
Critical that we participate, or those items would not have been done.
Yes, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Mr.
Senator.
Chairman.